Had everyone, how's it going? My name is Corey Anthony Jr. and my purpose of making this video is to come with the truth to people out here, the 100% truth, and y'all know I'm big on that, alright? One more time before we do it. I could have had all this together, of course, before, but apologies. I wanted to speak with you all real quick about something very important. And that really goes into the whole narrative of this whole entire channel. You really look into it. And what that is about is the fact that trying to get this settled. Excuse me. Sorry. But what I need to talk to you all about is something very important, alright? Some people have questioned things about astral travel and things like that, and whether these things are real. When it comes down to it, I'm going to make this a real quick video, and I'm going to leave this unprivate. And that'll pretty much, the shorter it is, the more it'll really, compared to my longevity of videos, really speak to how serious this video is. Especially, being that it's unprivate and people can right back to it. At the end of the day, when it comes down to all of this nasty stuff that I've been showing y'all and everything, it's dealing with the blatant truth of reincarnation / astral projection, all of this stuff tying together, bridging the gap between all of it, the essence of the spiritual world. It's very hard for anyone to explain to anyone something without them experiencing it or having proof of their experience. And so if somebody like myself tried to tell you that their mind traveled in a certain direction of the time, it would be very hard for you to believe that if they didn't have any proof of it. And so that's where Nazca Sun start, ties into it. Alright? Facts are, when it comes to that star being made, you do not see, and I'm going through a spiritual problem right now, right, in my life. And some of y'all could understand that if this thing can move things around for me, move things around in my life, have you ever thought about spirits possibly moving things around, drawing things as well too? Something not visible, something that's not subject to the ground level that we walk upon, being able to manipulate the earth's surface, because that's more so tying in. Have you thought about the Nazca and how there's not any footprints there? You don't see traces of footprints, massive footprints, with all of the geoglyphs that are drawn there. You don't see footprint trails. We know that a lot of people, if there were people that made these, that there weren't just a couple of people that made these. There were groups of people that made these. And it's straight up. You can't make that with just a couple of people. You're talking about a huge, intricate map of lines that are miles long. No couple of people can do that. So, at the end of the day, upon observing that, it's very important for y'all to realize what's going on with me here on this channel and what not just what I stand for, but what I'm opening not just human beings, but the world up to knowing. I have to contact some very important higher up individuals as far as the CIA and the FBI, because they literally look into psychics and work with psychics to accomplish certain things. And when you can show the things that I've shown, how else do I have, how am I able to tie all of these things in like I do from one side of the world to the other? I mean, it couldn't get more blatant than that. At that point, I hope that y'all can understand that iPhones are made, or phones period, have data inside of them. They're basically like a physical embodiment outside of yourself or your soul, if you can understand. Your mind is connected to your soul, and your mind goes into your phone. Now, some people wouldn't say you put your soul into your phone, but all of your secrets that you have, most of them go into your phone. Whether you're intentionally putting them there or not, it's listening when nobody else is. If you went into the woods 9 times out of 10 to let something out, it was there with you, and nobody else was. Like me, when I was out there, for instance. So, at the end of the day, there's embodiments outside of ourselves that we use to understand ourselves better. Understand that these phones also are going to go into a holographic state of matter, which is also like what I'm explaining to y'all, the spiritual essence of things. This is I'm a phone in this analogy. And the next stage beyond the phones that we're using is a holographic essence of reality. So there's a reason that and I came out with a video in the past where I was speaking on the fact that the digital world mirrors the spiritual world. Like digits, numbers, and things like that, but I went over all that. And all of it was for a reason, whether y'all catch on to it at the moment or not. So, at the end of the day, I'm bringing that up because inside of us is data, our soul. Or like your phone is a body, it has data, or your soul, as I just brought up. And this data, when you go to heaven, if your phone was to break and die, if you were to go, all of your data goes to a cloud or heaven. You understand? The cloud is kind of synonymous to heaven in this analogy. And it is carried through this cloud to another device. And that's the same thing, our mind, our data is carried from one body to the next, a base form of data. Have you ever realized that and when I bring up this base form of data, I'm speaking of your DNA all together. There's base things that made you. When we come into this world, we're wiped up whatever memories we had of our previous life, for whatever reason, probably due to our own benefit. But I could also guess to incite a detriment as well. But what I can let you know is through, and it'll help you much more understand and comprehend the direction and motive of things on this channel, how things were done. It's through that, what I'm proving. A message was given from the past to the future. Figure it out. Where I'm going with all this. Myself had to be tied into it. At that point, that's what I'm saying, the government will have to look into it. all of the other stars that are seen in NASA as well, they all feature the same that I put there. The 19 other ones, they all feature the same type of 45 degree. There's a reason that there's a 45-degree thing going on there. This has to do with, it's a gorge that's there. The cleaning of the water that I brought up, there you go, there's a gorge, it's a water runway. You know what I mean? So there's an ancient study, that's been going on. So when you live for more than just yourself, and you do this also not just for the time being, but also for the widespread of time, past, present, and the future, there you go. You're making sure that the great things of the past stay stood on, and then presently, that's going on, and for the future, you're making sure it's remembered. Great. And so, with everything that's going on, I just figured that it was really the best time that I come out. And I'm still watching my wording because I have to be careful with how I'm wording things. The government is serious business, but they have to realize who they're playing with. If they ever start to play with me, screw being tough. We're talking about the United States and its status as a country. Another point that I wanted to let y'all know as well is, this is where I'm at as far as what's going to happen as far as the apocalypse in this world. Whatever does happen in this world, it is going to be of a spiritual nature. You cannot wait on these people to cause an apocalypse unless it's of another country. Whatever country is running the world and has the power, they are not going to stage a downfall. I'm letting you know that now. Like America. I'm not saying that we're the most powerful. China has more power over resources than us. But what I am letting you know is we're not going to, if we're considered the most powerful, which we could be, it's either us or China or Russia. At the end of the day, we're not going to bring ourselves down. These people have families themselves, is why I say that. We forget about these things when we think about the world collapsing around us, that these people who are billionaires and running the world, the Illuminati, star families and things like that, they have families just like us. We know that they commit sacrifices and things like that, but even beyond their sacrifices of their families, the sacrifices of their belongings and their freedom themselves. If the whole world around you shut down and we had a curfew of 6 o'clock, guess who else had a curfew of 6 o'clock? They did too. So we've seen it that much with Corona. But on a higher level, you're talking about full-fledged danger all around you. The United States is no longer functional as it was. They wouldn't be able to have fun either. Nobody better not figure out that you were a billionaire in the first place. In that stage of time, then the main people that's going to be paying for it first. You think some people ain't going to think it's smart to go, if the world collapsed right now, to go attack big houses, big mansions like that? There you go. At the end of the day, we just can't expect that. So whatever it is going to be of a natural force that, like due to patterns in the past, we see that there's a pattern of once we reach a certain status of intelligence, we end up witnessing a collapse happen for societies and civilization. I'm not desiring this, but I'm telling you that's what that would be synonymous to. Falling in the lines of patterns of. It's our job right now currently to make for sure that we do whatever we can to record all important data, keep log data of all things that we need as far as ingredients, so to say, and build mechanics stuff, things that we need the most. How to build the things we need the most, how to cook and make the things we need the most here in this world. ingredients are inside of medicines as well. So I mean, how to fester up what we need the most. It's that time. Those are the type of things that with this great or grand pyramid that I'm embarking on building here in the United States, these type of things get set in stone, carved in stone as far as hieroglyphs. So this is knowledge to be left behind so that once a major collapse happens, that people can look at that pyramid and have all of the knowledge of how to make things left behind that are the most important, like toilets. Imagine a world that you have today without toilets, without paper, without, because without the technology that we got, if we forgot how to make paper and had to start all the way over, we're screwed. You know, there's certain things that you just gotta break this world down for its organics and not live just for yourself. That's what most people is. They wake up, they wanna go pull off into off-grid and just live their life beautifully, but I don't want to see nothing wrong with it. I want people to be able to live like that, but I want people to also realize it's not just about yourself, because I think like that too. But if the world collapses around you, you won't be able to live like that yourself anyway. So living for the world, in essence, if everybody was to do that, that problem wouldn't exist in the first place. So it's very important to make sure that that's something that's the core value, is to live for other people, not just yourself. When it comes to breaking away from the world that's fucked up around you and outgrid you, make for sure that you do things for other people. That's how I see things. That's the common sense I just feel behind it. So there's a reason I am who I am. And discover what I discovered. I try to share it and explain it the greatest that I can. But wow. I've never seen anybody do anything like that, honestly. So, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I thank y'all for everything that y'all have done as far as donations and everything thus far. Even my mom has not heard these type of things. You're talking about somebody who comes from a mother just like me, who did not teach them these things. She taught me how to walk just like me. So something happened. Whenever I was guiding my parents, my grandparents and stuff like that, upon them being lost back home as a baby at 2 years old, I was doing things like that, guiding them on the freeway back home through landmarks. Didn't know what a landmark was like that, but I did. Couldn't say landmark if I wanted to. So something special about up here in the thinking process, analyzing data, the world around you is different than most people, because I've seen things jumped ahead in decision making. I just don't understand how nobody else has you got to think about it. Like when it comes to building a pyramid to clean water, this reminds you of Atlantis. If you look at the architecture of Atlantis and how it was set up, it's almost like a reverse. It's really weird. It looks just like Atlantis, and this stuff is not intentional. It looks just like the New Jerusalem, which also looks like Atlantis. I can't make none of that up. Now, who I can tell you who they can get to confusing you with some very special people / power that has been spoken of over throughout the fabric of time. But all I can let people know is that there's something way above me that I can never compare to. Jesus Christ, I feel like that is somebody who really lived. I believe in that. Him. That being alive. I was just walking around earlier saying to myself, I'm talking about just a couple thousand years ago. You mean to tell me that a couple thousand years ago, everybody on earth was told a lie about one person? Everybody lied and acted like they were real. A crucifixion was real. They acted like that was real. In one local area, even, you mean to tell me that was one huge lie? No. It just don't work like that. Crucifixion's been going on for I don't know how long. Nobody just all of a sudden, at that point it had to have been an embarked on and set out point in time where a person would be said to have went through that there. They would have had to, in other words, orchestrated that over time, planned it. A faking. Plan and even where did Christianity come from at that point? And why wouldn't it have fallen at 08, at that point? As soon as they realized that, because it was something that was spoke upon that this person was going to be born, right? And if they didn't get born, why didn't it just crash as soon as that time period came? Because it seemed to me like it came. And that's when a New Testament was formed as well. That's what, if you ask me, with common sense. Now that's what my intuition picks up on. And everybody tell you that Jesus Christ ain't real, all of this stuff. That's what Corey's intuition picks up on. The person that's being harassed by the spirit that don't believe in Jesus Christ just said what he just said. I mean, from other people's point of view, right? Just said what he just said that I ain't heard nobody else, not even the pastor, say. I mean, broken it down by the time frame and common sense. At that point, millions of people have been just lying. And that don't make sense. And I ain't talking about lying as far as millions of people on the earth right now. I'm talking about back then. All of the people across, in Europe and in that area where Jesus was to, in Jordan area, things like that. Where the crucifixion happened. That's it for us this video. As soon as I see 0, I know that I've talked enough. I did say that this was going to be a shorter one out of them. And I am going to keep it unprivate. If anybody could, I did try to mention earlier, and I'm on a different device. Over there earlier I was being harassed like hell. And my mic, it won't work. The charging pad and mic is jacked up, so I have to keep that phone on the charging pad in order for me to use it right now. If I take it off of the charging pad for it, as soon as I take it off, it cuts off. So that's part of why that was sitting on the table and I couldn't, get it to function correctly. Among me dealing with the hell I was dealing with the pain in my rib, trying to fight it off. Besides that, I failed today at acquiring any donation from anybody. Alright? I did not get a donation. ArtByPR is my Cash App donation. Alright? I'm not going to accuse anybody of desiring to see me, starve and things like that. But I am going to let y'all know, and everything. That's merely what's going on. You can't force nobody to do nothing but close mouth. Don't get fed. If y'all lie, we're seeing somebody starve and stuff like that. Actions speak louder than words, of course. You know what I mean? So, inactivity can speak louder than words as well. And so, at the end of the day, if y'all complain about giving, you know what I mean? feel good right now because of what somebody gave me. If you feel like you're giving too much. Because of what somebody gave me, I feel good now. He gives all the time. So, don't never feel like you're giving too much. There's other people that can feel the same. With that being said, y'all have a great night, man. ArtByPR to anybody who watches back this video. Just a cash out donation to our homeless artists. Trying their best, man. Period. I got the EBT signed up for it. I don't know if I'm going to get approved or not. I'm pretty sure I will, but upon that being approved, then I won't have to ask y'all for food anymore. But that's all I was asking y'all for was the last couple of days, because I asked my grandma how fast that would be, and she said it could be fast. Hers was pretty alright, as far as speed. And so that's all I was trying to get y'all to do was, help me as far as in the next couple of days, get a donation. I see y'all want to see this spirit harass me about me to hell is what I say. It's responding now. It's really up again. It's ready to harass me without weed at any point in time. But this ain't even about weed this time.